Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Carmine Sabia here for Explain America, and the Supreme Court has just issued an earth-shaking 7-2 decision that could affect free speech online as we know it. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. The Supreme Court, in a 7-2 decision, which is rare, it means that liberals and conservatives agreed with each other, in a 7-2 decision, decided that free speech is more absolute than prosecutors would have you believe. The case involved a singer who was getting what she believed were threatening messages from a fan. And I don't want to say what some of the messages said because we could get in trouble, but I will say that he was telling her he could see where she was, that she should perish because she wouldn't talk to him, asking her for a hot date, telling her that he was going to, see her, and just kept messaging her. She would block his account on social media. He would create a new social media account and keep messaging her. Now, he was convicted and served 4 years in Colorado for making threats against this singer. However, the Supreme Court, now that the guy's out of prison, said the case should actually be retried because it did violate his free speech rights. And what they said was that the idea that the standard of any reasonable person would consider this a threat should not be a catch-all. That was the standard Colorado used. They said that any reasonable person would consider what this man did to be threatening. But there were exculpatory circumstances here, is what his people claimed. For example, the man claims to have mental illness. So what their argument is he didn't know his messages could be perceived as threatening. So to have the standard that any reasonable person would see them as threatening is really not fair in his case. This is the court's argument. And the court said the case should be retried, but to keep in mind the First Amendment rights of people who are speaking. And if the speaker doesn't believe that their messages are threatening, then there should be no conviction. So the Supreme Court standard via the First Amendment is that the speaker, the person making the threats or sending the messages, as it were, has to believe that they're actually making threats and that what they're saying is going to be perceived as a threat. But now you're getting into intentionality. How can you know what's in the speaker's mind? How can you know what this person intends? And if you don't take action, do you wait until it's too late? On the other hand, the ACLU applauded the decision, and they said that what they were concerned about is that any speech online could be considered a threat by somebody, and that it would freeze people's speech if they thought that every time they spoke, they could get prosecuted for making threats. So there is a two sides of the argument thing here. Justice Clarence Thomas was one of the justices who dissented on it, actually, surprisingly. It's really a catch-22. I'm not going to give an opinion here because I don't have one, but I would love to hear your guys' opinions because this is a very interesting case. We do believe in free speech, but we also don't want people to be threatened. And this is very problematic because wouldn't you say that a person who would make threats like that and do an attack like that, and if you look at the man who killed John Lennon, if you look at Sirhan, if you look at all these people, you would say they obviously had mental issues, right? But they followed through on their threats. So, what do you do? And so that's a big question here. And I want to know what you guys think of this decision. Please, absolutely let me know in the comments. Also, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia. This is Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.